Godzilla Minus One is the newest movie in the Godzilla franchise. Is it any good? Let's find out right now. Welcome back everyone to the channel. I hope you're doing well. As I said, we're going to be reviewing Godzilla Minus One today. I'm going to talk about no spoilers, by the way. Before we get started, make sure you leave a like. Helps a lot. I'm going to read a quick synopsis just so you know what the movie is about. Japan is already devastated by the war when a new crisis emerges in the form of a giant monster. Alright, to build off that, it also follows a kamikaze pilot that abandons his mission, and you go like, he has this mission. And at the beginning of the film, you get your first sighting of Godzilla and how he goes face to face with it. And it kind of follows him from there throughout the whole movie. So you follow this one guy through this whole mission throughout this whole movie, and who he meets throughout the movie, his emotional journey, and his like psyche kind of journey throughout the whole movie. I really did love the plot here. And it is kind of interesting to me because this one, has a ton of Godzilla in it, but it has a lot of human elements to it, a lot of human characters to follow, and you're basically following them through the movie instead of Godzilla. And this is what's interesting to me, is that Legendary is trying to make like the monster universe kind of happen with like Godzilla, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and Kong, Godzilla vs Kong, and they have a new one coming up. But they built them on the human elements and stuff like that, and the human plot, and you don't really care for the human characters at all in those movies. Like I couldn't even really tell you any of the characters' names in that one. I know Millie Bobby Brown is in the Godzilla movie. Other than that, I don't really care about the human characters in those movies. But in this one, you really get to care for these human characters and what they're going through, the emotional struggles, the human loss that they go through in this one, because there's a lot of loss in this movie. And when they go, face to face with Godzilla, trying to fight him off, trying to kill him, you do care for these humans more than Godzilla, because they really have some great writing around these characters, and they try to build them up as much as they can through the years that this one does take place, because it does start in 1945 after all the tragedy after World War II and all that. Japan is still recovering, but it does take place a couple years after that, 1946, 1947, a lot of years after that. So you really do have a lot of build up to these characters that makes you just care for them a lot. So I really liked what they did with here. The direction here was also really stellar. I love the direction of all the fight scenes, of when you're seeing Godzilla for the first time. That scene was just so scary in theaters, because I did see in IMAX, so it was just so loud seeing Godzilla for the first time. And just he has that I don't know what you call it, the blue blast that he does, the heat ray, I guess you'd call it. That sounded excellent in the theaters, and it was the first time you see it, you're not going to be prepared for it. It is just legendary to watch it happen. It's like Godzilla done right. Even though I haven't seen a lot of the older Godzilla films, I think this one does beat, Godzilla King of the Monsters in like the power levels, showing the destruction. And as I said, the human elements are much better here. And even talking about Godzilla, he's been in a lot of media lately. He's in the Godzilla and the Monster universe is heavily expanding. The Godzilla Apple TV show is getting really good. We're on episode 4, I believe, right now, and it's getting really good. Like, seeing that universe expand in a bigger way, and the TV show does help with the human characters. But I just love to see Godzilla and just more media, because my theater audience was packed. A lot of people care about Godzilla. A lot of people love him. Then we have the new Godzilla Kong movie next year. Godzilla Kong, the New Empire movie. That one's going to be pretty cool. I think that one's going to be more action based, hopefully less human based, because we don't need more humans in that one, because Legendary, they don't do too well with the humans. But as I said, this takes place after World War II, so it takes place during the fallout and destruction after the atomic bombs. And you do follow these main characters on their struggles, trying to get everything back together, trying to get new jobs and all that. But then there's Godzilla just looming in the future after they're trying to rebuild and everything, and he just comes and destroys it all again. It's some of it's very sad seeing this destruction already happen, then destruction happens again. It's so sad to see it happen. But the pace of this movie is actually really good. It's about 2 hours and 10 minutes, I think. And I was worried that the pace wasn't going to be good because, it has a human subplot. But as I said, the human subplot is handled really well. So I think the pace is handled well. Starts out kind of slow because you're trying to build with these characters. But I think that slowness helps it a lot when you get to that middle point of the movie where Godzilla comes fully into the picture, fully realized Godzilla, fully kind of built Godzilla, grown up Godzilla, and it just gets crazy from there on. And the third act is just, it's a spectacle. I feel like this is like the second best action spectacle of the year, because Actually, maybe third best because I still like Mission Possible and John Wick over this, but we haven't really had too many action spectacles this year, and I feel like the third act of this is just crazy. It's really cool to see it. If you like war movies, you're gonna really like this because it's just an all-out war against the humans going against, it's ex like military officers going against Godzilla in that third act. I won't spoil too much of it, but it's really good what they do, and they do tease something at the end, so stay for the ending. And I really hope they build off that ending. That would be really good for them. And I just want to talk about Godzilla for a second in this one, because Godzilla is, as I said, I think the best he's been. If you want to compare this with like the Legendary universe, I think he's best in this. And he looks really cool. As I said in the movie, it's kind of like he has like a, dinosaur, prehistoric dinosaur kind of look to him mixed with Godzilla. I think that's kind of what they're going for. And he looks terrifying. I'm not sure if it's all 100% VFX, or like there's some miniature models in there, but he looks really good in this movie. I think the VFX were really well done. So like, round of applause to the VFX workers on this movie. I think they did a great job with this. And when he just literally goes into Tokyo and just starts destroying everything, you can't help but have a smile on your face, even though there's tragedy happening. Just seeing this all just happen in front of you, seeing Godzilla just fully realize is something really spectacular to see. And I would be more excited for this, but I'm still under the weather, so sorry about that. My voice is still kind of bad, but it was so cool to see him just do it. And literally his roar was just so amazing to hear in IMAX. I cannot wait to see this again because it's just such a spectacle to be seen. And I really loved all the human characters in here. Some of it just gets very emotional, especially that ending. That ending almost got me because it's really just emotional how they built these human relationships and just them going against Godzilla and the ending tease. Hopefully we get a sequel to this one. I'm really hoping a sequel would literally be my dream for this movie because this one just blew my expectations out of the water. It's a spectacle to be seen on the big screen. If you want to see his big massive heat ray just go through buildings, you got to go see this one. In the big screens on IMAX was when I saw it, and it was insane. I think they did a great job with this one. Direction was amazing. I really just enjoyed it a lot. I think it's really great. So Godzilla Minus One, I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. Higher than I thought, but it is really, I think, like top 20 of the year so far. Now that's insane for a Godzilla movie because we've been disappointed from Godzilla movies from Legendary, so hopefully they step it up for Godzilla times Kong: The New Empire. We'll probably get a trailer for that this weekend. But let me know down in the comments, did you guys watch Godzilla Minus One? If you did, leave your thoughts down below. Make sure you leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.